But the story of the Watchers doesn't end with their punishment. In fact, some of the most fascinating parts of the book of Enoch come after their rebellion. After the giants begin to devastate the earth, the text describes the cries of humanity rising up to heaven. The archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, report the situation to God. They describe the chaos, violence spreading across the world, knowledge being misused, and the giants consuming everything in their path. God then commands the archangels to act. Raphael is instructed to bind Azazel and throw him into a desert abyss. According to the story, Azazel is cast into a pit in the wilderness and buried under jagged stones, where he will remain until the day of final judgment. Gabriel is sent to deal with the giants themselves. The Nephilim are turned against one another and destroy each other in violent conflict. Meanwhile, the other watchers are bound and imprisoned beneath the earth, where they must remain for thousands of years. But the most unusual part of the story comes next. When the giants die, their physical bodies perish, but their spirits remain. Because they were born from both heavenly beings and human women, their spirits do not belong fully to either world. The book of Enoch says, "These spirits wander the earth as malevolent forces, tormenting humanity." This idea would become extremely influential. It helped shape later Jewish beliefs about demons and unclean spirits, beings that afflict humans but do not have bodies of their own. In other words, according to this ancient tradition, demons are the restless spirits of the dead giants. Another strange element of the story involves dreams and visions. The book of Enoch describes a series of prophetic dreams experienced by the giants before the flood. In these visions, they see their own destruction coming. The giants send a message to Enoch, asking him to interpret the dreams and plead on their behalf. This creates one of the most dramatic moments in the text. Enoch becomes a kind of intermediary between heaven and the fallen angels. The watchers ask him to deliver a petition asking for forgiveness. They hope God might allow them to return to heaven. Enoch carries their request upward, but the answer he receives is not what they hoped for. Instead of mercy, God delivers a judgment. The watchers will never return to heaven. They will remain imprisoned until the final day. Enoch then returns to deliver the message personally. Imagine the scene: the fallen angels, once powerful beings of heaven, waiting anxiously to hear their fate, only to be told their rebellion is permanent. The text describes them trembling with fear as they receive the verdict. This moment reinforces one of the central themes of the book of Enoch. There are boundaries in creation that must not be crossed. The watchers were meant to observe humanity, not rule it. They were meant to remain in heaven, not take human wives. And they were never meant to give humanity certain kinds of knowledge. By crossing these boundaries, they introduce corruption into the world. Another fascinating aspect of Enoch is the way it describes heaven itself. Later sections of the book contain elaborate visions of the cosmos, journeys through heavenly realms, encounters with angelic beings, and descriptions of the structure of the universe. Enoch sees storehouses of the winds, paths of the stars, and chambers where the dead await judgment. These visions helped shape the imaginative world of Jewish apocalyptic literature, writings that explore hidden realities behind the visible world. Perhaps most intriguing is a mysterious figure introduced later in the text, someone called the Son of Man. This figure appears as a heavenly judge who will one day sit on a throne and bring justice to the world. Long before the New Testament used this phrase, the book of Enoch already described a chosen figure who would defeat evil and establish righteousness. For many scholars, this shows that ideas about a coming cosmic judge were already developing in Jewish thought before the rise of Christianity. So when we step back and look at the Watcher story, we see something remarkable. A brief and cryptic passage in Genesis expanded into a vast mythological narrative, one that tried to answer some of humanity's oldest questions. Where did evil spirits come from? Why did the ancient world remember giants? Why does knowledge sometimes bring destruction instead of wisdom? And what happens when beings meant to guard creation decide to rule it instead? The book of Enoch offered one powerful answer. The world became broken not only through human choices, but through a rebellion that began in heaven itself. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more lessons from early church scriptures.